Welcome back to the stream, guys. It's good to see everyone present today. We got Jobin, Fizz, Miffy, Cook, Bean, Merkel. Good to see you guys. Mubin, XYXX. Haven't heard that one before. Stilyan, Khalid, Walaikum Salam. BB King, how you doing, my friend? Trust, good to see you. Zilla, Selflex, Matt. Good to see everyone in the chat. Ross as well. King, how's everyone? Shinobi, how you doing, buddy? K Crypto, good to see you as well. Now, there is quite a few things that we have to go over today. For example, inflation came in better than expected. We had inflation, which was, last month 2.9%. And today it came in as 2.5%. And this is why we are currently seeing, a nice little rally. Well, it dumped and then it recovered on Bitcoin. And this is something that could potentially, continue. It could potentially continue up until, the rate cuts. Why? Because after the rate cuts, the market always sells off because they don't know which way the market is going to go. It could either be a hard landing or a soft landing. Either way, it is always historically bearish, and it does lead to a sell-off initially whenever rate cuts are in the market. This is how it is. This is how it's always been. A prime example is 2019. If you go look at 2019, the first few rate cuts, the market kept putting higher lows. It should be one of those projects. Well, it should be one of those moments where I'm personally sitting on the sidelines. I do not want to buy before a rate cut. I don't think it's the best thing to do. You'd rather wait, if you haven't been buying for the past, 2 weeks or whatever the case is, when Bitcoin tanked. I personally would rather sit on the sidelines because you don't want to be buying every little dip. It becomes pointless to buy every 5%, 10% drop, or every 2-3% drop, because when the real dip happens, you are going to run out of USDT. That's why I'm currently sitting on the sidelines. Inflation is coming down. I mean, despite the price action, the boring price action, the higher lows that Bitcoin has been going through, you have to look at the overall, market and all the mass adoption that's happening. Inflation is coming down. Fed is, eventually going to go into QE. This is the type of stuff that we have to look for. We've already experienced a bear market or a QT, a mini QT bull run. Now the next phase is to shake out as much as possible, as much people as possible, before we go into the QE bull market. Now the difference is between a QT bull market is during the QT bull market, Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance tends to outperform the general market. Obviously, there's always little micro cap coins that goes and does 100x, 200x, whatever the case is. However, the broader market, Bitcoin tends to outperform a lot of altcoins. In the QE bull market, all the lower caps, the micro caps, this is when we start seeing the 100x's, the 200x's, the 50x's across the board. So this is why we have to patiently wait. Now, the title of this video of this live stream is why don't people make money in crypto? Well, a big factor of that is, not having the patience. A lot of people tends to capitulate because eventually when the market just trades sideways and continues goes lower, puts in higher lows, people give up on altcoin season. People think there's going to be no altcoin season, that March was the top, bull run's done, we're going to go into a bear market. This is the type of stuff they do. Why? Because they don't understand the macros. They don't understand basic, how the crypto market works. Nothing goes up forever. You do tend to go through 6 to 9 months period of, of consolidating or correction in the market. And this is what we're going through now. So a lot of people, either capitulate too early, or they have this concept of buying or selling, buying back lower. This is another reason why a lot of people tend to lose out in the markets, because yes, it might work out for you this time, but then there's going to be a time where you're going to sell and the market recovers very quickly and you're not going to be able to buy back in. And then you never see those prices again. So, if you ever think to yourself, shall I sell now and buy back lower? there's just no point, because if you can't stomach your portfolio going down 20%, 30% in a month, then you shouldn't realistically be in crypto, because in the next month it might be up 10, 20%, 30%. That's just how crypto is. It's volatile. One month you'll be up 50%, the next month you'll be down 50%. This is how it is. All you have to do is just stay patient. Everything in crypto works in narratives and cycles. There's going to be a period of time where only Bitcoin's outperforming the general market, and there's going to be a time where all coins are going to be outperforming Bitcoin. So you just have to stay around. And this is the thing, right? You have to go a few years of consolidating, or just to get this like 4, 5 months, 6 months of a bull run that can give you life changing money. But you have to go through that phase though, and you have to learn. And eventually in the next cycle, you guys will be able to maneuver a little bit better than what you have this cycle, if you bought the March tops, the June, April, all these times. A lot of people that they came into crypto when the market, Bitcoin was at 70K. Now they're down significantly. Now they're down significantly, 80%, 70% on the entire portfolio. This is what a lot of people go through in crypto. This is why you have to be careful who you listen to, who you follow, because everyone in the crypto space is human. Everyone makes mistakes. A bunch of people thought we're going to go to 100K by now, because it's halving, but they don't take in consideration macros and economics of that affects the crypto market. It does, because now that we've got so many institutions in crypto, of course they're going to trade news. Of course they're going to trade just basic data that comes out when CPI, PPI, whatever the case is. Whatever data comes out, the general market trades it, because there's more institutions involved in crypto now. This is why macros matters a lot. Let's get into the chat now. I'm going to give some updates as well on some of these coins. Armzilla, Southflex, good to see you guys in the chat. Drop a like for the alpha. Boys, drop a like. You want to see the thumbnail, the money printing thumbnail? I'll add that in next stream, don't worry. Black, good to see you as well. Zongo, good to see you. Hoove, very good to see you, my friend. Very good to see you. I think Bitcoin is starting to recover, yes. Total Free has been holding up extremely well. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes and retests this at some point very soon. It could even do it, or it would just be another sell-off. It could be another fake out. We don't know yet for sure. It will just follow Bitcoin. Dominance is trying to go back higher. It came down a little bit, and now it's going back higher. USDT dominance is going down. This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin and altcoins are slightly going higher. This doesn't, correlate to every single crypto project. There's only a few pump, most of them just consolidating at this point. Nora, good to see you. Hector, Jamie, good to see you. Rich, good to see you. Kay, good to see you. Why do you have Ritestream in honorable mentions? DXB trashed it a few days ago. Is it done for? Why do I have Ritestream in my honorable mentions? Because Ritestream's never been a project in my best gems. I've never looked at Ritestream as one of my favorite projects ever. I'm not bullish on the entertainment narrative, but I look at Ritestream as something to cover the entertainment narrative. That's it. It's not a project that you should be holding a large allocation in. There's way better projects than Ritestream that you can put your money into. At the end of the day, it's a crypto show. It's a hit or miss. It could be successful and it could do well, but then that all depends on. Just look at Hello, for example. It could turn out like a Hello. Now I don't see it turning out like a Hello. It could do better than Hello, but then a crypto show isn't, in my opinion, that bullish. But the only reason I like Ritestream in the entertainment narrative, you got Hello, you got Joystream, you got Ritestream, you've got Karate Combat. Amongst all of those, Ritestream is the best. So therefore, I've chosen Ritestream, and it's only a tiny percentage of my portfolio. I did not buy a massive, in the narrative that's not that bullish. So I don't think it's done for. I think when the show comes out, it's all about the right time. I'm waiting for the launch pads to come out, because then more people will stake the token in order to get the benefits of the launch pad. That's what I'm waiting for. But I don't think it's completely done for. I mean, look, DXB probably doesn't like it because, you cannot like every single project, to be honest. You can't buy every single project. But to cover the entertainment narrative, which does pump at some point, I think Ritestream is not a bad one. CoinHoof, how you doing, my friend? Yes, G, I think rise to the rate cuts, trap retail sell. Yeah, that's what I think as well. I mean, look, a lot of people are now calling for new all-time highs. If you go on Twitter now, you probably see a bunch of these Twitter shillers calling for new all-time highs, 70K, 80K, whatever the case is. Some stupid numbers. That's what they're calling for now. They might pump it up until the rate cuts and then just have a massive sell-off, because whenever the rate cuts happen, there's a lot of uncertainty. A lot of people are, they don't know if we're going to have a hard landing or a soft landing. So they just sell off until everything clears up a little bit better. Rana, happy. I love BTC. Mark, good to see you as well. Chris, good to see you as well, my friend. Gambling. I'll look at the coins later, my friend. I'm not looking to do coin reviews at the moment. You're funny, bro. People sell when it dumps, then yeah, that's the problem. People sell and then they buy back. Like, how many people do that? If you haven't been through crypto for too long, what I've realized is a lot of people just pump the markets. Well, when the market pumps, they get really happy, and then when it dumps, they panic sell, and then it just recovers. There's a lot of you just have to be patient enough to. The way I look at it is just, if you have a long-term mentality, you're not going to go through these phases of let me sell now, buy back lower. I think all of that is pointless. Is all completely pointless. Now, there's a few updates that we can go through in the markets. For example, Tectum has recently just won. They I think they won the best blockchain awards, and this is in Dubai with this magazine. I don't know what this is, but it's a pretty decent sized magazine. I think they won this best blockchain innovative award in Dubai. This is very good to see. This is the fintech. The fuck. This is the fintech award, and it shows the quality that Tectum actually has. Tectum is a very, very solid project, and people are starting to utilize their soft nodes. If you haven't been following this project, they have launched their app, so you can now try soft nodes, send it to people, whatever you want to do, you can try it out. And this is one of the key features that I was waiting for, in September, and they delivered, which is good to see, because a lot of projects now have either stopped giving updates, or they're just completely given up. But this is the thing, right? When the market's boring and dead, you have to look at your projects to see if they're continuously building. Are they forming new partnerships? Are they still developing? If they're not, then I would personally consider selling that back, depending on the project. Whenever the narrative takes off, everything pumps. So it doesn't really matter. But obviously, the whole point of this is you buy the projects that's going to give you the most returns. You don't just buy anything. If you just buy anything, it becomes pointless, because you're not a genius. I've said this multiple times, right? You are not a genius for buying a project that pumps, when the narrative pumps, because when AI pumps, every single AI project will pump. You have to buy the project that's going to give you the most returns. That's the significant difference. Like I said, you can go buy any single project now, in 4 months' time, 3 months' time, 5 months' time. Whenever AI pumps, you will be in profits. By the end of the day, like I said, you wait 4, 5, 3 years, 2 years to go through this bull run. You have to pick the best projects that's going to give you the most returns. I'm not happy with a 5 to 10x, and I don't think anyone, who's watching my channel, who's into low caps, should be happy with a 5 to 10x. Why? Because you can get a 5 to 10x in the top 100 projects. So there's no reason for you to, increase your risk and go down that, like the 1,000 coins, the 500 coins, the top 1,000, 2,000 coins, and only get a 5 to 10x. I don't think that's worth the investment when you can literally put more money in a top 100 project, and there were most of them, a few of them, well, I'll say about 30-40% of them will still give you a 5 to 10x. So this is why you have to be careful what you invest into. And Tectum is a good project. Now, another update that I don't know if, I don't think a lot of people even follow these projects, or they even follow the updates, but this is another big update made by OORT.
Did you know that data is traded just like other goods, from consumer data to medical insights? Data is powering the digital economy. OORT is now listed on the Shenzhen Data Exchange, China's largest data trading platform, which surpassed 10 billion yuan or 1.5 billion USD in transaction volume in June, making it the first platform in China to reach this milestone. This gives OORT direct access to a vast network of AI companies across Asia. The exchange allows companies to securely trade, process data, and data tools for AI, finance, healthcare, and more. With over 2,263 listed items across 70 industries, it's helping drive data innovation. OORT AI is already listed on the Shenzhen Data Exchange, offering AI companies tools to deploy generative AI agents seamlessly. And with upcoming commercial launch of OORT Data Hub, even more data-driven AI innovations will be available. China has one of the biggest AI startup ecosystems in the world, and OORT will play a key role providing these companies with the tools they need to innovate and grow. With Shenzhen Data Exchange, OORT is helping drive the future of AI across Asia. Stay tuned for what's next.
Now, this is a massive development. I read the article where it basically said that, China right now, the general, person in China are mostly in savings. Why? Because they don't trust the real estate market, because the real estate market in China is a mess. And they don't trust the Chinese stocks because they could go down at any time. So most people in China are now sitting on savings, and they have approximately around, I think it was $30 trillion in savings. So imagine, we get a case where, they're already kind of doing crypto as international trade, China, Russia, the BRICS. If we get a scenario where China decides to unban crypto, that could be very, very massive because there's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines in China that could flow into crypto. And the projects that have the most, um, connections in the Chinese market or the Asia market will perform the best. And this is one of the reasons why, or if it gets mass adopted, or if China unbans crypto, could be one of the biggest performers. Now, it doesn't entirely, relate to that. I mean, it doesn't depend on that specifically. If you look at, all across the board, they're kind of in every single project. They're not just across China, they're in the US. Their main company is in the US. What happened? Did the comments get blocked? The fuck? Why is my live streams bugging out? Maybe what's his name? What's that guy's name? Maybe Yeti has done something to my YouTube channel, bro. Maybe. He did say, yeah, comments are back now. Comments were bugged. I was thinking, bro, I just started the live stream and there's no comments and there's like 82 people here. I was thinking, is everyone just listening to what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it's a general. Yeah, comments are back now. Bro, that's annoying. That is. It does look like Bitcoin wants to go higher. To be honest, it does look like it. Let's have a look. Dominance is climbing back higher. USD dominance is slowly going lower. Let's just see what happens. Right now I'm sitting on the sidelines. Rate cuts are around the corner, and generally when rate cuts come, we do dump, and it's going to be a very good time to accumulate. I will be going a little bit heavier, Mugen. I will be DCAing a little bit heavy, depending on how much we dump. At the end of the day, at the end of this year, we will find out what sort of landing we will have. At the moment, we don't know. However, the likely chances of a hard landing is continuously increasing, with unemployment going higher, with certain other factors, that's coming into play. For example, the SARM rule recession indicator has gone up. So I'm personally waiting on the sidelines. I will still DCA. At the moment, it's better to wait, my friend. Now, we did have one coin review. Let's go over the coin review. It is Kineko. Kineko. Let's have a look at this project. It's a micro cap, 300. The trading volume looks completely dead. To me, this looks like a project that has more or less died out. Let's have a look at what the concept of this project is. Then we'll know. If this is a meme coin, instantly I will, crypto betting on another level. So this is a betting platform on. I mean, look, this could do well. This could do well. Yeah, it looks like they got a bunch of different games. Yeah, I think I've already looked into this before. Yeah, my friend, this a lot of the to be honest, most of the gambling narrative has died down completely. So you are going to get another opportunity to accumulate some of these projects. This is on Solana, so it could do well. But I personally don't invest in gambling coins. I don't like investing in gambling coins. However, when the narrative takes off, all of them pump. And this is, as long as it survives, by the end of the year, as long as it survives into 2025, it will do well in the bull run when the gambling narrative takes off, my friend. It is 100% gambling, yes. When you buy back lower, you sell now and buy back low. I don't really like that. Fucking thank God. Yeah. I've already looked into Gari Network. I'm not looking at that shit again, bro. I don't know why YouTube always does this. Peter, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I think Yeti used 1% of his Dynex computer power to destroy the comments. Yeah. I don't like people coming shilling in my comment section. Or also partner with US National Science Foundation. Yeah, I've already gone through that on a live stream called War. That's a big partnership, that is. I think that's a bigger partnership. Sensay Summit yesterday made a technical explanation. No big announcements about, for example, do you have any new information? My friend, I don't know why, you're such a short-term investor, Ivo. You've been on my stream for a while, and all you think about is trying to get 100x tomorrow. Even if Sensei was to get the best exchange listing now, it will go unnoticed because the general market doesn't care about anything right now. They want to get all the headwinds out of the way before we go parabolic. And you are a very impatient investor from what I'm seeing. You're very impatient. You want everything to 100x the next day. You have to be patient, my friend. You have to be patient. Why is Sensei going to outperform the general market randomly when everything is going down? I don't really like IoT protocol. Why? Because there's a lot of issues regarding the contract. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. And this is one of the projects I personally do not like buying. I think a few groups pump and dump this. I don't know which group it was. I personally would never buy this project. Despite all the partnerships they have, there's a high risk of a rug pull. Show you what I'm talking about. Let's go on here. You have a mint function. And this is the thing, right? There's a significant difference between a mint function, for a project that is on two chains. For example, if a project is on the BNB chain and the Ethereum chain, it makes sense for them to have a mint function because in order to bridge, you need a mint function. So that's not a red flag. You have to clarify that with the team. However, you guys can see this is only on Ethereum. So this has no reason to have a mint function, yet it does have the mint function. So that's instantly a red flag. Now, let's go down to the other function, which is tax modified. Now, this is not a massive factor. A lot of projects that launch on the dex screener and all these random dexes, they tend to have these tax modification. Sometimes they get rid of the tax, sometimes they can increase the tax. I personally don't even like a project that has a tax function because it generally instigates to me that they don't really have the funding and they are developing or they are accumulating funding through the taxes, which I don't like. So if a project is serious and they're being utilized like they claim they are, they don't need the tax function. They don't need any of that stuff because they're still generating money with their product. And a lot of projects are not self-sufficient. This is why I don't buy a lot of projects that other YouTubers are claiming they're the best project. For example, OctaSpace, for example, Dynex, for example, there's a few other projects. None of these are self-sufficient. They don't make no money with the product. No one's utilizing them. This is why they have to come under comment sections to show their product in order to get a pump out of the, whatever group or whatever YouTuber is talking about them. This is what they tend to do. At the end of the day, a project is as good as, if a project is really, really good, there's going to be people that's going to utilize them. For example, OctaSpace is claiming they're being utilized by Coca-Cola, but then they don't even have money for an exchange listing. They've had to ask the community to raise 400K for an exchange listing. It doesn't make sense because one of the co-founders, one of the CEOs is in the comment section in the Telegram all day talking shit to the community, and then the other one, I don't know what the other one's doing, but there's like two team members doxed. So then if you got one of them, comments talking shit all day, trying to get people to like the post on Twitter, and then you got the other one that doesn't do fuck all, no one's utilizing the product. Where are they getting money from? This is why they've had to ask you as the community to raise money, which is a massive red flag. OctaSpace has been around over a year and a half now. I've only got a Mexi listing, which is reasonably cheap, 50K. I could pay for the Mexi listing if I could pay for that. How can a project not pay for that? It doesn't make sense. A project that's been around that claims they got partnerships with Coca-Cola, you have to question some of this stuff because the way they project themselves, that Coca-Cola is using them, they're doing this and that, they're making all these top rendering stuff, but then no one's utilizing them, so it's all pointless at the end of the day. And they claim to be the next render. Render's being utilized by multiple companies. OctaSpace is being utilized by no one. So this is why you have to take in consideration, what a lot of YouTubers will show OctaSpace. Why? Because the chart looks good. The chart does look very good for OctaSpace. Can't deny that. But then the chart doesn't really mean anything because if you look at it across the board, this hasn't really pumped much. During the crazy phase of AI and most AI projects were going parabolic, this didn't even really pump. If anything, it dumped in January and took off, in February, and then came down and started pumping in March, which doesn't even make sense. So this barely pumped in January when most other AI projects were going parabolic. 50x's, 40x's, 100x's across the board. This done, just about a 2.5, 3x. So red flags. It shows they got no money for marketing as well. Marketing is a big factor in crypto. You have to take that in consideration. I mean, if you're happy with a 5 to 10x, you can buy OctaSpace, you can buy some of the other ones, but I'm not happy with the 5 to 10x, bro. Tempted to buy Sensay, but even more after. Yeah, if you guys didn't watch the event with Sensay, you guys can see that their replicas are really, really good. You could literally talk to it back and forth, and it reply to you the same way you reply to yourself, pretty much. And it's quite unique. A lot of people, the technology has gone so decent that a lot of people literally mistake, Dan, the Dan bot, as Dan himself. This is how good it's gone. It's only going to get better over time. So so they said they got some it'll probably be about the data center, to be honest, or the GPU marketplace. It looks like Bitcoin just hit 58K. It does look like that. Also struggling right now. I think it probably is about the data center. I haven't really checked that out, to be honest. I might have. Which one are you talking about, Russ? Have you heard of Port 3? I think I have actually. Yeah, it sounds familiar. 4 million market cap. Looks like it's bombed out, or it's dumping at least. Let's have a look at what this is. Oh yeah, I have looked into this, my friend. This type of stuff is too complicated for the average person to understand, to be honest. You got Coinbase Ventures, so that's not too bad. They don't have anyone that I know apart from the Coinbase Ventures, but they got Bybit, they got Mexi, they got good exchanges. You just have to check the vesting schedule. These type of projects are a little bit more difficult for the average person to understand, so I don't think it'll give you crazy returns. However, they got very good exchanges. The volume looks pretty good as well. Overall, this project doesn't look too bad. You just have to look at the vesting schedule because the fully diluted to the market cap isn't looking the best. That is good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Robit did like 100x, something crazy. Around 22nd of August, the Equinox, usually big dip, total free last few years. It really sees sense. I'll look into that after the stream, my friend. Looks interesting though. After the rate cause, generally we have a big dip. That's when I'll be accumulating heavy at least. Yeah, it'll do well. You just have to look. You cannot expect one project to outperform the market. The general market right now is bullish or bearish, sorry. Everyone's kind of giving up on alt season. People are uncertain about crypto in Bitcoin in general due to macro environment, due to unemployment. There's a bunch of different, people are scared of a recession now. So you cannot expect or Sensay or AI Tech or Tectum, any of these projects to randomly outperform the entire market. If you cannot hold your bags, then you shouldn't be in crypto. And I always get these people in my stream, not you, Shinobi, obviously, but what's going on with Sensei? As soon as it goes down 5%, people start like, oh, what's it going on? Bro, the market is bearish. What do you expect it to do? Pump every day. Sensei held up completely well on the biggest dips in crypto. We had the biggest dip in August. Go look at the price action of Sensei in August. It held up very, very well in August. This is when we had the massive crash when Bitcoin went to put in a new local low at 48K. Sensei went from 1.1 to basically 1, or it wicked off like 0.09, basically 0.01. So it didn't really dump. And it just consolidated. Now it's having a low correction. But you guys are forgetting the fact that most other projects put in a new low here and Sensei barely dumped. And now it's having a correction. So that does not mean anything. And the same thing happened with Realio. And look at Realio now, is outperforming a lot of projects. It's done really well. It's up by like 50% if you bought in at 50 cents over here. So why? Because this held up really, really well during the previous dips, barely dumped in August. You guys can see it had a lower correction from 1 cent, down to like 90 or some shit, and then recovered back up here. And then now it's had a correction. Some projects tend to, take a bit longer to dump, but all of the altcoins will dump at some point. Does not mean it's going to hold up against the general market. There's always coins that outperform, but that doesn't mean nothing for the general market. I heard Crypto John used AI tech. Yeah, he did, bro. That guy's a retard, bro. Like, I think I watched the video today where he basically done a buy alert on this, made 114K profits. And all you have to do, and this just shows the level of stupidity that all the people that follow him and all the people that literally pay a membership every month to get into his Patreon, and this is a very eye-opening thing for you guys as viewers. If you just go on CoinGecko, and you just look at this, according to the contract, blah blah blah, change token contract, disable cells, min function, whatever the case. This is another word for min function, right? I've just shown you guys they had a min function. And you don't even have to go look for a token sniffer. All you have to do is come on CoinGecko to look at this, and it tells you it has a min function. So what he done was he done a buy alert on it, and then after he pumped and his group pumped it, whatever, he took a shit ton of profits, like 114K profits, and then he randomly gave a sell alert on it, saying, I know some people that can understand developing. Is like you don't need to understand developing. It says it right here, my friends, that it has a min function. And after getting some people that knows coding, they've said that this has a min function. It's like, how stupid are you? All you have to do is come on CoinGecko. This literally tells you it has a min function. So that guy's just a waffler, bro. The guy's a waffler, bro. Like, I don't know why people even still watch that clown. Was Kujira ever mentioned in one of the streams? I saw it on DJ and Pig by several crypto banter guys last week. I don't know actually, my friend. I've never really looked into Kujira. Let me have a look. I probably have looked into it, but I think I have looked into this. And it's not really degen. I mean, this is 45 million market cap. I don't really class this as degen. You know, degen is way lower than this in market cap and doesn't really have the best. It has Kraken, which is pretty decent. I class Kraken as like a tier one exchange. Well, yeah, probably a tier one exchange. I have looked into this. I'm pretty sure it does look very familiar. Powering decentralized economy or yeah, this is not really degen, my friend. I wouldn't really buy anything like this. This looks like a DeFi project as well. DeFi projects aren't going to really perform that well. I mean, if you look at this across the board, not only is it an old project, it pumped from 64 cents to $5, which is pretty decent to be fair, but now it's corrected way lower. That's a massive red flag. I don't think this is going to recover back to his all-time highs. Very, very unlikely. I've looked into AIT protocol. Oh, AIT protocol. I'm talking about GitHub. It's just yeah, it's basic LLMs, bro. A lot of these projects are basic LLMs. They're not anything special. There's very few AI projects that's actually developing something unique. A lot of these projects are just basic LLMs that we've had for over 10 years now. They just come into crypto all of a sudden, and because of the hype, people get blinded by the hype and they think that these projects are actually developing something real. A lot of these are just basic stuff that we've had for multiple years. You know, the one things that we don't really have too much of it are AI agents. This is why I like, you know, the likes of AGI, because they developing an AI agent Dex and they've got a beta version out that you could actually utilize. The phase one is out. Phase two and three obviously has bit better features that comes over time, but you can actually utilize it now. So they have a product out to some degree. Overkill, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Thoughts on layer 3 narrative for this bull run? Yeah, look, layer 3 could have a run. It won't be a very long narrative. If this was a thing where, for example, if this was in the last cycle, layer 3 could have done really well because it's a combination of layer 1s, layer 2s. You can do a bit of both, so I don't think it's going to do well this cycle. This would have done really, really well if it was in the last cycle when we had this narrative of Eve killers, etc. But I don't like the fact that, look at the vesting schedule for this. I mean, the fully diluted to market cap. Now, a lot of these projects, layer threes and all these other big ones that are coming out, they heavily, early investor focused. This is why I tend to stay away from them. Even though they have good, fundamentally, this is a solid project. But because because it has so many early investors, it no longer becomes worth the investment. Kodak, good to see you, my friend. Are you still a fan of Carrot? Any room for the change in coming months? Yeah, look, I do like Carrot. I don't personally hold it at the moment, but I will consider buying a bag at some point. It has to be at the right time. There is a few unlocks for Carrot in the coming months. So after those unlocks, when the price tanks, I will buy a bag of Carrot. Why? Because it doesn't matter if you don't like the project or not. Alex Becker is going to show Carrot during the gaming narrative. It's one of his favorite picks. Therefore, it will perform. It's not going to give you life changing money like 100x, but it's a safer side of the investments. You can put a little bit more money into something like an OTK or some lower cap ones, or like immunity. Like you can put a little bit more money in Carrot and just look for the 20x's or 30x's. But I do like Carrot. I think the game is very unique. You can actually play their game now, and a bunch of people are playing it. The game looks genuinely good. This is why, and they got big partnerships as well. Outside of Alex Becker, they got Disney, Warner Brothers. These are massive partnerships, so it will perform well. Look, this is another thing, right? A lot of newer projects don't generally follow the general market. So, for example, when the market is bullish, you're not going to see OORT and Sensay perform well because not a lot of people know about them. But you will see AI tech and AGI really recover because everyone knows about them now. With the likes of Sensay and OORT, because they're newer, they don't follow the general market yet. However, they have the chances to do the biggest returns when the narrative takes off. So this is why you have to, you know, yeah, it's like a one cancel basically cancels each other out. So during these times, it's not going to pump and recover the general market, but then when the narrative takes off, you're going to make a lot more money than you will off those projects. So for me, I don't really mind if my projects don't pump now because I'm a long term investor. I look for the bull run. I don't look for 100x in 1 week like a lot of people, some people in the chat do. It becomes annoying because, oh, why is this pumping? I just have to skip a bunch of comments now, bro, because a lot of people just have this basic, if I call a project, it has to do 100x in 2 days. Most of the projects I called previously, I had them for months. The market was dead. You have to hold them when the market is dead. This is the whole point. And that's another thing. One of the biggest reasons people do tend to lose money in crypto is because they listen to the wrong people. This is very, very true. You have to be very careful who you listen to. A lot of people will come on here and talk about some random shitty project that they've been paid to show. You have to be very careful of those. There is a bunch of people still shilling coins from the last cycle, Polkadot, Cardano, and there's a lot of people shilling, for example, Tars AI. Tars AI paid a bunch of influencers. I know this for a fact because they offered to pay me. So God knows how many influencers they paid to basically keep the price up or have it pumping. I don't see the point of that because why would you do it now when you can do it in the bull run? It becomes pointless now. But I do think Tars AI is still a good project. It's not one that I would be mad if people held in the portfolio. If it goes down enough, I'll consider buying myself. But it's all about the right timing. Like PZP as well paid a bunch of influencers, last year, did really well, performed really well, and then did well, not really well, but it did like an ATX some shit, died, and then came back down now. No, this is not a natural growth. This is a pump and dump growth. When you have growth like this, where you just paying a bunch of influencers to do buy alerts and shit it on YouTube, of course you're gonna pump, but then it's not sustainable because those guys just end up dumping over time. Or the early investors dump. This had very bad dilution at one point. Now it's better. Yeah, I love BTC. Yes, that is exactly right, my friend. Now narrative hopping can get you that much X's. Yes. Yeah, there's a bunch of people shilling a bunch of shit coins like that. That's why they pump, bro. You guys get blinded by the pump, but you don't realize why these projects is pumping. AGCC, is it worth a Qto? Let's have a look, my friend. I think, what is this project? AGCC. Argo coin. This didn't just come out recently. I'm pretty sure this came out very recently. Come on, this year. I think I've looked into this actually. Developed AI. Isn't this? No, this ain't worth the investment. I remember this, bro. It's not worth the investment, my friend. This isn't going to give you crazy money. I don't think. It's very unlikely to give you more than a 20x. Personally, I would not be buying this now. What's the market cap of this? I personally would not be buying this crypto lord. Just me personally. I think there's better AI projects than this. I looked into LMR, yes, Ivo, and LMR looked pretty decent to be fair. You know, the only thing I don't like about it is it looks like it just lacks the marketing, but it does cover a wide range of narratives, AI, deepin, and RWA. However, you know, if this dumps back to here, I would consider buying a bag. But at these prices, I'm not going to buy this project. You know, if it goes below 1 cent, it could be worth the investment. But for now, I'm not going to touch this. You know, it's not going to give you crazy returns from this point on. It's $11 million in market cap, and you're looking at back down to its all-time highs. You're approximately looking at, you know, a 4x away, well, 6x away from back down to all-time highs, back up to all-time highs. Sorry. So personally, I'm not going to touch this. But it is not a bad project though. It's actually not a bad project. Kev, good to see you, my friend. That's fine. That's perfect. You got an initial bag and now you're waiting for a dump. That's perfect, my friend. This is what I always recommend to people. Grab an initial bag of a project because you don't know which way the market is going to go. No one can predict the markets accurately 100%. So the best thing to do is grab an initial bag. Even if it goes down 40, 50%, it doesn't matter because you're willing to accumulate more. That's the whole point of an initial bag. Or you could go up and you could never see those prices again. This is why an initial bag is so important. I've always told you guys an initial bag should be something that you don't mind going down 50%, 60%, 70%, whatever. You could go down even to fucking 90%. It doesn't matter because you're willing to accumulate more. That's the whole point of an initial bag. So the fact that you grabbed an initial bag, my friend, and now you're waiting for a dip is perfect. No, I wouldn't touch Lanify, my friend. If Lanify survives this big shakeout that we're having now, and it survives into the next year, then you could grab it. But this is too degen in my opinion. This also has a mint function as well. But this is, like I said, I've always told you guys with these degen projects, don't buy them now. Buy them when the narrative is hot. Because when the narrative is hot, this will pump. At the moment, you know, I'm not touching this project at all. I did not watch the debates, no. I did see something on Twitter where Camilla Harris had one of those earrings in, but then those earrings were you know, those is a way to hide like an earphone, basically, like an AirPod or something. These earphones were basically telling her what to say. It was, you know, it was weird. I don't know if you guys seen that or not. It looks like Bitcoin's trying to go back down now. Dominance is going up, which is good to see though. But Landify, I'm not touching this for a long time, my friend. These are too degen to buy right now. What do I think about Maple? I think Maple is fundamentally a good project, but in terms of return on investment, it's not going to give you that much money, my friend. I mean, just look at the history of the coin. So it went through the RWA pump. A lot of the good RWA projects that market themselves and do etc. that they pump 10x, 5x, whereas Maple just done like a 2x. So you know, I don't really like that. On average, most good RWA projects done like a 7 to 10x. So Maple barely pumped it. I know like a 2x. So yes, it could be a good project, but it's not going to give you much returns. That's why I don't like it. But it doesn't dump as much either. So if you want to put a large amount of money and you know you want to keep it a little bit stable and you want to get like a 5x, 10x, then yeah, Maple's fine. Yeah, it is treacherous. Soulflex is you guys gotta go watch that video, bro. They released another one today. Actually, it's crazy. And the thing is, everything aligns. So he can't even deny it because apparently he did like a private live stream where a bunch of people was asking him to to show proof, to show your wallets. Let's see, we can see and we can track it. And it's like, oh no, if I show my wallets, I'll get hacked. And that's not true. You cannot share your wallet address and get hacked. That's not the case. If that's the case, bro, you can go find any address. So, for example, if you buy on Dex Screener or Dex2, whatever the case, your address comes on there. So, if that's the case, then why won't these hackers just go and click on all these addresses and see the one that has 500k, a million, and just start hacking them? It's not that easy. It doesn't work like that. So, you know, he's just waffling, bro. He's got a bunch of newbies in crypto that actually believe what he says. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, bro. None of my concern. I don't really give a fuck. But when the influencers come in and they start pumping meme coins, that is a top signal. That is a top signal. Free free day to big dips in the last cycle again. 8th to 11th gone now. 14th of October. I think this was due to US elections. Yeah, look, a lot of things. A lot of people think October is going to be bullish, but you have to take a few things in consideration, right? Historically, when we've had an August and red August and September, we've always had a red month. 2 out of 3 months have been red. And keep in mind, October historically has been bearish. Why? Because it has something to do with elections. If people knew exactly who was going to win, then we would not be dipping in October. But because no one knows who's going to win, one's good for crypto, one's bad, we could see a dump in October. This is a possibility. Now, this goes against what the average normies are saying on Twitter. October, the biggest month, new all-time highs, bullshit. That's very unlikely to happen, in my opinion. If everyone thinks an all-time high is going to happen, it's very unlikely that it will happen. Thoughts on Nye? I don't really like Nye anymore, my friend. I would only trade Nye during the AI hype. I'm not gonna buy Nye just based on the fact that the vesting schedule is ass. I've realized that you guys gotta realize sometimes when I push content, it's only for content. So if I make a video on a what's it called? If I make a coin, talk about a certain coin, that does not mean I'm bullish on that coin or that I'm gonna buy that coin. It just means that I'm pushing content to get more subscribers. So I've realized with Nye and FLT and BVM and what's the other one, Merlin chain, that people think that I'm constantly buying and shitting this. I have a very small bag of BVM that I left as a moon bag because I traded it. When I sold Mint Layer, I put my Mint Layer money into BVM. I made a 3x and then I moonbagged it, and then I decided to make a video talking about the BRC20 narrative. It does not mean, for those people that watch my live streams, you guys will know I never talk about BVM, I never talk about FLT, I never talk about Night ever. This is the thing, they're just content. Some of these are just content. The ones I always talk about that's on this list, these are the ones that I personally hold, and I don't mind people holding them. These ones, only a few of these I'll hold. I just want to make this very clear because people always get this mistaken that somehow I'm shilling all these projects, or I don't know. Like I barely talk about any of these projects. Barely. I don't talk about lithium. I don't talk about Maniki because these are very small percentage of my portfolios, and these are degen. Manic Munity, less than 1% of my portfolio. Degen, AMU, degen, ZF, degen, TARS, good project, but degen. Chirply, degen again. Carrot, I don't even hold this. Base there, I don't hold. Truth, don't hold. Casper used to hold, not anymore. Ritestream don't hold a small bag, but that's about it. And then that's just the moon bag. TARS AI. What do I got? TARS AI twice. BVM, moon bag. Like, you guys got to take, just look at these projects right here. These are the ones I hold. The only a few projects here I hold, and they're very small percentages of my portfolio. I don't even talk about them because they're not sufficient, and I don't really care. If they die, die. If they survive, survive. That's the way I look at them. It's not going to affect my portfolio if Munity dies, or that's the way I look at these projects. Yeah, obviously it wouldn't be too bad, Southflex, but that's what a lot of people, want. Sensei dump into all-time low. Not really. All-time low is like 7.07. No. It doesn't look like it's going to dump that low. Not now, at least. It might dump maybe at the end of the month, but we are, if anything, is actually recovering. It's actually recovering, my friends. Someone was saying some shit on here about me. I forgot. I've realized that some people just genuinely just are retarded. That's what I've realized. Not you guys, but I seen one thing on let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So there's a guy on here that I've seen. Someone shared it to me. There was a guy on here. Hold on, let me show you. Where's it gone? How do I go down the comments? Oh, right here. Look at this. Or again, you have $10 or whatever. A lot of fudders are trying to buy back lower. When have I ever fudded Sensei? When have I ever fudded this project? When have I ever fudded all? Like, these people are just genuinely retarded. I mean, look, this is something that look at this. Look at this. This guy on the 17th of August, he said that Sensei, what garbage pumped by crypto G, he'll dump on you, right? This is what he said on the 17th of August. So he's put my name on there. And this is obviously he's done no research, right? Because I've never pumped this ever. And then look at this. Literally 10 days later, he goes, after much research, this is the best project going, 100x in a blink of an eye. This is the type of retards that we see in the real world. This is the type of retards that that talk shit on the internet because they don't do no research. They just have genuine hateful people. I don't know why he hates me. I've not even done anything. And then they say stupid shit like that. And then after doing some research, they call it 100x. It's like, when have I ever talked shit about alt? This is one of my, I hold a reasonable size of my portfolio in alt. A decent, not massive, but it's a decent amount. What is my gem, my friend? Oh, the gem that could do 100x in, let's go over some projects. Actually, that's a good idea, Yvonne. The best projects to accumulate, and I wouldn't accumulate now. I would wait for the rate cuts. Is OTK, is Tectum, is or Realio, Sensay. I wouldn't buy Realio now. I would wait for everything to come down. We got the likes of if you want to degen 1% of your portfolio, tiny amount of money, you could put into Community. This is the one I picked. You could go buy any degen gaming project. I don't care. This is just the one that I've picked. It doesn't matter which degen project you buy, as long as it's a small percentage of your portfolio, because Community is a very degen project. It could die tomorrow. It could do 100x. I don't think it's going to die because there's a lot of big backers behind it. A lot of people don't know the team behind Community is the same team that made Sandbox. Is one of the founders of Sandbox. So these are legit people. They're not just people that just randomly made a project and who's got no credentials behind them. The team behind Community is Hungry Games, which is a massive studio across the world. They made Sandbox. So it's not like there's just some random shit studio behind this. It's legit. This is why I don't see this dumping or rugging. It's very unlikely because they got big partners. They're very close with Beam. Very close. You guys can see, go on the Beam Twitter. You guys can see Beam shouting out Community multiple times. Very small percentage of your portfolio, like I said. You could buy Chirply. They got very good backings from Binance Labs. It doesn't say that on their website, but I know this personally because I know that Binance Labs has given them a big chunk of money to develop their project. You've got the likes of Sensay. Sensay is a project that, slowly, bit by bit, a lot of other influencers are slowly, gathering and they're starting to buy this project. Sensay it has the potential to do 100x. The vesting schedule is very, very good. The product is very, very good. You have projects in the hundreds of millions of dollars in market cap, and they don't have a product. This has a working product. You can utilize the product. The market cap is only 2.7 million, which I think is like 2.5 or 2.7. I don't know. It's still tiny. For this to do 100x, it doesn't take a lot because the vesting schedule is very, very good. It's fair launched. This project is fair launched. Everyone got in at the same price. There's no, VCs into this project. It was just pre-sale. Anyone could have got in at the same price, and is well below that price now. I think it was 0.01 for the idols. Now it's way below that. So it's a good time to start potentially grabbing, DCA or a small bag of this now. If you don't hold it at all, this is a good project long term. They have big partnerships with Travala, Fetch AI, AGIX, Ocean, WorldCoin. These are big companies in the AI sphere, within crypto, and they partner with all of them. The team's solid. They got a gaming side to them as well. They create NPCs for games, which is still solid. And yeah, there's people actually building on top of Sensei soon as well. That's something to look forward to. Troy, good to see you, my friend. Awesome private stream, private group G. You like proof of work DAG, ZK, 4K, TPS, Mazzy. I have looked into Mazzy and it does look interesting. The only thing is, there's no Docs team, so I wouldn't buy it now. I wouldn't hold it long term, as we don't know if it will survive that long. However, Mazzy is not a bad project, my friend. XNet Mobile. I'll have a look at that later. SNS is not too bad for a trade. That's it. If you don't hold a single position in AGI, you could potentially just buy everything. Well, if you want to buy anything, just wait for now. Buy after after the first wake up, my friend. You better hope for Birmingham segment to go, pal. Your Southflex, you're killable. If we're gonna have an October run up, G, and we're looking to make short-term entries for gains over the month, which projects portfolio would you recommend? If we're gonna have October run up, G, and we're looking to make short-term entries, if you want to make some trades, the best projects to trade are, I wouldn't buy these now, but if they dump a sufficient amount this month, Creo is a good project that always recovers. It's one that does recover very quickly. You guys can see this is up a decent amount, 157x in the last month. This was a good project to accumulate. I found this at 100k. I traded it, made a 10x. I should have held it for the 100x, but you can't predict the future. You live and you learn. That's fine. I should have left the moon bag. That's a mistake on my part. However, I still made a 10x. I was happy with that. But this went on to do like over 100x from the price that I found. I found this 100k market cap. This one is up 120x now. So I could have made a lot of money on this, but it's fine. I made 100x on other projects, so it's not a problem. This is one that recovers. Realio, if it dumps enough, it always recovers with the general market. I'm bullish on Realio. Another very good project that does recover is, you could buy AGI, always recovers. There's a bunch of projects you could buy when it dips and they recover and you could trade them a bunch. You think it's not a problem that Realio done around 200x? Not really, no. Not really. I don't think it's a problem. Realio hasn't done he's done a 200x on the lows. 99% of people did not get the lows, my friend. 99.9% of the people did not get the lows. So, this is 100% in circulation. So if there was people up at 200x, they would have taken profits up here ages ago, like I did. I took profits up here, a shit ton of profits up here. I probably even caused this wick, I don't know. But I took profits. And then, now it's coming down very nicely. You're looking at about 50, 60 million market cap. But when it goes down to the 50 cent region, you're looking at about 40, 45 million, which is pretty good in my opinion. It's a good long-term hold for this project. Everyone talks about Realio, so it will perform well. 93 people watching. Smash the likes. Best alpha macros and experience of all one click. Thank you very much, Hoove. Boys, if you haven't smashed the like button already, drop a like. It does help me out a lot, and I do appreciate it. G-Man, good to see you, my friend. How you been? When we hit 100 likes, Alpha Cry will donate 500 to everyone. Alpha Cry, but I guess I got too much money, man. Looked already into LMRs on your research list, touches for narratives. Yeah, I've already looked into it. Anytime, my friend, anytime. What do you think about XDeFi? I'll have a look at these later, C-Sense. Just message them in the private group. Message them in the private. Have you had another freeze? I think we've had another freeze on the comments. It looks like. Would it be wise to sell Naka for Carrot for more X's if there's token unlocks coming? Now for Naka, there's not many token unlocks coming. The big unlocks have already happened. Probably one of the reasons why Naka has been dumping, along with the general market. However, the big unlocks for Carrot will be happening sometime in October. So there's not like a big, you know, a big dump coming for Carrot. I think it will dump a decent amount. It's not a massive unlock, but I would personally look at accumulating Carrot after October, not now, not anytime soon. After October, after the unlock, this is when it probably be the best time to buy. At the moment, gaming's dead. No one cares about gaming. This is why the gaming projects barely pump. Very few. Another good project to trade actually is OTK. This is another good project to accumulate when it goes down. It always recovers anytime it pumps. If you want to trade these projects, this is a very fundamentally good one to trade. It always recovers, it always dumps, and it always pumps. You guys can see every single time it's come down, it's always recovered. Always. Polygonmatic. Oh, Polygon Matic. Yeah, I'm not too bullish on Polygon, my friend. I'm not too bullish on Polygon. This is one of the projects that I think is more or less dead. Why? Because I don't think it's dead, but I think it will recover at some point. But you got to take in consideration this was only good when there was only very few layer twos to Ethereum. Now there's so many new ones, and people always like the new things over the old things. So I would never buy Polygon ever. This is one of the ones that's not going to give you much returns. I mean, it's everything speaks for itself. It got listed as a security, and it kind of just killed this whole project. Fucking hell, Polygon did like 300x, bro. But just look at the chart, bro. 50 cents to 120, man. Not even a 3x. So this is not gonna one. This is one that I would never buy. OTK is 50x from all-time low. OTX is 50x from all-time low. I wouldn't touch this. The better gaming project with just small cap and good tokenomics. Yeah, listen, my friend. That is not true, because if you look at OTK across the board, it's only $9 million in market cap. It's not like it's had a crazy run. I mean, there's very few people that actually got in the bottom of OTK. Most people got here, dumped. More people invested here, then he dumped, took profits, or took profits up here. So, it's very unlikely that, I personally still hold mine from a long time ago. I've taken some profits, but I did not get rid of my old position. I learned from Creo. So, this is one of fundamentally the best gaming projects on Solana. I think is the best gaming project on Solana, my friend. So because everyone is bullish on Solana, because this is backed by the Solana Foundation, because it will be on the Solana phone, and because they have yet to be listed on other exchanges, I think this will perform better than most gaming projects. I mean, just compare it to most gaming projects now. All of them are putting in new all-time highs. I mean, all-time lows. This is, despite the massive dip that we had, this is one that's been just outperforming the entire market. So you cannot say there's better games than OTK. Name a better game than OTK that's outperformed OTK in the last 4 months. You cannot name none, because I don't think there's any gaming project that has outperformed OTK in the last 3 months from when it dumped from. It went to 1.5, 1.56, and done approximately a 4x or 3x, to the all-time high. So you have to be very careful, my friend, what you say based on, I know who you are, Crypto Lord. I know exactly who you are, my friend. And you've said this multiple times. From the all-time lows, it does not matter, because it will never go to those all-time lows again. This is the best gaming project on Solana, in my opinion. And the price action speaks for itself. They got a partnership with Bonk. They made a Bonk game. They're forever making new games because these games are easy to play games. We have multiple top tier games that people will play, but all of them have shit tokenomics. The vesting schedule for this is really, really good. So it's not that the vesting is harsh. I don't know what tokenomics you're talking about, my friend. The vesting for this is not harsh at all. This is why it barely dumps and it recovers very quickly. So I don't know what vesting schedule you're looking at, my friend. The vesting for this is really, really good. It's not bad at all. And you got to take in consideration as well, Crypto Lord, that this is a unique game within the gaming sphere. You have the MMORPG games, you have the shooting games. There's hundreds of those. There's only like 2, 3 gaming projects similar to OTK. We got Gamers Arena and we got PlayZap. That's it. Those are the only 3 that are similar to this niche mobile gaming narrative. There's not many other ones, and the fact that this is the only project that has a dual earning mechanism, it stands out above most other gaming projects. You can earn real world rewards, and you can earn in-game rewards like OTK tokens, and it has a lot of downloads. People still play this, so I don't believe in that narrative, my friend. When do we start buying again if the crash never comes? My friend, it will come. Just be patient. We'll be buying very soon. Is your all allocation bigger than AGI? No, it's not, my friend. It's not bigger than AGI because I got into AGI very early. So yeah, this is exactly I love BTC. I mean, if you just do your own research in all my projects and just look at the fundamentals of the projects, all of them are really they do really well, or they have very good fundamentals. Asto, I'm not looking. I'll look into Asto in a bit. Immediately, alts get back to the old March all-time highs. A lot of people will sell off this crypto in full speed. The PSD from Shakeoff is crazy. That is also true, Isaac. I would not put it past people who, as soon as they break even, they sell off and they're gonna miss the boat. We have a donation. Appreciate the donation, TG. Thoughts on XYO, Bingy, and Marlin. So XYO is not worth the investment, my friend. I am aware of this project. It's a very old project, and it's one that hasn't really done too well. You guys can see at the very lows, you couldn't even do a 10x, from the big ETF pump. I do think this could do a 10 to 20x in the bull run. Now, this is a very old project, a very old project. It's very unlikely that this bull run is going to do anything more than a 10, 5, let's say a 10x, 15x from this point on. Very unlikely. And I personally would not be touching this project. Now we can look at what is that? Benki. XYO fundamentally not good, but as an investment, when you want to make the most money, it's not going to give you too much, my friend. 10x, 20x max. Avalanche, DeFi Web3 protocol all at one. So they got a lot of value locked, which is pretty good. So this is a lending and borrowing platform. Now, I'm not too bullish on DeFi, my friend. I don't think the DeFi narrative is going to go parabolic this cycle. And, I think there's other narratives that I would put before DeFi. For example, AI, for example, RWA, for example, Deepin. I would even put gaming, above DeFi. However, on the yearly, this has still been performing really well. It's held up really, really well. So, $60 million in market cap, probably got all the big exchanges, Binance, Crypto.com, Coinbase. The likely chances of this pumping going parabolic is very, very low, TJ, because it's already listed on the major exchanges. So there's not many hype factors behind this project that can make it go parabolic. So I personally would definitely avoid this project because it's not going to give you much returns. It all depends on how much gains you want, how much gain you want. That's it. If you want a 3x, 5x, 6x, 7x, these projects are fine. But if you want the 50x's, the 30x's, the 100x's, these ain't going to give it to you, my friend. Yeah, I would never buy Marlin, bro. I can't believe people still talk about this. Who talks about Marlin now? A lot of these projects just rebrand and they start something new. So they start with one thing and then all of a sudden they become AI and deepen. I think this was one that migrated, I'm pretty sure. To be fair, what's the market cap back down? Let's see what it would be back. So it's a 3x away from his all-time highs. 3x away. I personally would not be buying this, my friend, unless you want 5 to 10x, like I said. A lot of the projects you said, these are very old normie coins. You don't want to be buying the old normie coins. It depends what you want with your portfolio, like I said, but there's plenty of other projects that you would put. No one even talks about Marling anymore. No one talks about XYO. Very few people actually talk about these projects. They do pump. They'll pump at some point, but everything pumped in the bull run, bro. But it's like you want to make the most money, like I said. Asto. Oh, this project. I wouldn't buy this, bro. I seen some bullshit about this in the video. I think that was just bro lies, bro. Something about Nvidia about to invest into this, bro. Intelligence and everything. Oh, this AutoStay. This is the one that crypto gains was shilling. AutoStay is a powerful 3D generative AI with gaming in mind. Use AutoStay to build high quality characters. This could do well, actually. This is on the better side, to be honest. It's not too bad. 100% in circulation. Well, no, it's not actually. The volume is pretty high. I'll have to look at the vesting schedule for this, my friend, see if it's even worth. Good, decent exchanges, very good exchanges. But this is just a bunch of bots trading this. The volume for this is really low. Whenever you see a HTX, just know there's about 1,000 bots trading the shit out of this. HTX volume is probably the fakest volume ever. Every shit project on HTX has at least 1 million volume. Do you think you will have more gems on your best gems list by the end of the day? Of course I will. There's a bunch of projects in the VIP group that I would add on here. For example, the 2 RWA coins. For example, one more AI coin that I would add on here. But yeah, of course I will, Khalid. I will add at least 3 more on here at least. I just obviously I can't just release all the gems in a private group, onto YouTube. I don't think it's fair on those guys. Is Sensei for this bull run Matic world? I'm not holding anything. I'm telling you guys now, right? Apart from Bitcoin, I am not holding a single project till the next bull run. Never. Because most of these will either die in the bear market or they'll get too fully diluted. The market cap's going to go too high. Therefore, they will no longer be worth the investment. It's very unlikely that I will hold any of these projects. I might leave a small moon bag of some projects, but on average, I'm getting rid of everything, bro. Because in the next cycle, there's going to be newer narratives and there's going to be better projects within those narratives. And even within the old narrative, there's going to be way better AI projects launching because AI is ever developing. And there's going to be some sort of breakthrough AI, technology that comes out. And then all these AI projects in crypto are going to get 10 times better. So for now, I'm not going to hold anything past this bull run related to AI because AI is a bubble. It will eventually pop. Update for Alchemist, Illuvium, and Gala. Let's have a look. Let's hope Alchemist still watches my channel. Let's just do a regular update of Illuvium. Not surprised. 37, looking like he's going to go down lower. Let's have a look at Gala. Gala's reasonably holds up fairly well, to be honest. I gotta hand it to Gala. It is a little bit more resilient to the rest of the market, but just look at the shitty market cap, bro. But no one's gonna buy this shit anymore, bro. It's too high a market cap. Bushman, yes, I am, my friend. I am. How big is the AI tech having partnership with Silicon Valley Unicorn? I think that's quite massive, to be fair. And this type of stuff goes unnoticed during the bear market, but that is a pretty decent partnership. LA, good to see you, my friend. What is the best source site to watch the? Look, the best thing to do is check their Twitter, because if you look at our project, every single update they do, the first place they post it is on Twitter, or you could go on the Telegram and check the Telegram. But on average, Twitter is the best place. Let's look at some project, for example, that I talk about. Let's talk about alt. Look, alt's on here. Let's go talk about alt. Actually, I can just come on here. Just look at how active they are. So 17 hours ago they posted something. 17 hours ago they posted something again. Yesterday they posted something. They posted another thing. Then this is all you have. Twitter is probably the best place to check, how active these tokens are. Tectum, same thing. Yesterday they went to some event. You have to look at these projects when they go to these events. They can develop more partnerships. They have more connections. That's why going to all these events are somewhat important, because you can build partnerships there. That's the whole fundamental point of these events. Do I think the US elections triggers a rally regardless of who is elected? No, I don't think that's the case, my friend. I think, with the uncertainty of who gets elected, the market could dump and then have a little pump after if Trump gets elected, we'll have a mini pump. But then at the end of the year, as everything unwinds, as we find out what sort of landing we have, the market is going to be in a very feared state, in my opinion. I think after the third rate cut, this is not I think, this is facts. After the third rate cut, we find out what sort of landing we have, because by that time, we would have most of the data out to show, if the Fed done too much or they done just enough to avoid a hard landing. At the moment, we only gain data for July. So this is not, and keep in mind, a lot of these data could be faked. Like, for example, they said that 700K jobs or 70K jobs just, or the data got it wrong and it just went out of the markets. Like, this is the type of bullshit they do. Is there any football related projects worth investing? I don't think football related projects do really that well, my friend. The only thing I can think of is the different teams on Binance. There's like multiple different teams on Binance. I personally stay away from those type of projects. Do I ever look at developers' activity? When they do post updates on the development of a project, yes, of course. They post that all the time. You have to look at the roadmap to see if they meet the roadmap. That's what the developers come into. You have to look at the roadmap. If a project's up to date with the roadmap, that means they're on track. If a project is a month, a whole quarter behind on development, you have to go ask the team, like, why is this still not developed? Why is this being delayed, and etc. And yes, I do look into that. I think is a very important part of looking into some of these projects. I think developer is very important. Is there any news on Casper? Do you think it will pump short term? Trying to make some money for Casper to look up. I think there was some news on Casper. I think the KRC20 stuff is going live in a few days, 4 or 5 days. I don't know exactly how much. That's what I heard. Let's have a look. Actually, we can have a look on the Twitter. Something is happening with Casper. I don't know what it is. It could cause a short term pump. Yes, it could go back up to the previous range high. Yeah, there you go. Pip, yeah, KRC20 in 4 days. That is the current shit with Casper, bro. Oh, I missed this. Thank you, bro. Just trying to clear my portfolio. What about Clever Network and IOTX? Cleaver is dead. I think you're holding a lot of projects, my friend, from the last cycle. I don't think it's wise to hold too many projects from the last cycle. Cleaver is not really the best project. If you look at this, it hasn't really performed that well. It's done all right. It's done most what other projects have done, like a 3x. Not fucking impressive, is it? So less than a 3x. A lot of these projects that come out in 2019 had a decent pump, then they're not going to do the same shit again, because times changed, narratives changed, more projects in circulation. There's probably 100 better CLRs than there was back then. So there's no point holding this. I'll have a look at Scale as well. I think Scale is shit as well. be very careful of influencers shilling you. This one didn't really do that well. Don't like, I mean, not too bad. They're like a 6x. It's not too bad, but be very careful of influencers shilling projects in the last cycle. A lot of you guys gotta realize these projects that have large amounts of money, big market caps, that have big fundings that they could use to promote the project. So there's probably a shit ton of YouTubers that's still getting paid to this day from the previous cycle for shilling these projects. Look at Altcoin Daily, for example. He still shills Cardano despite how shit it is. They still shills Cardano because he's being paid handsomely to shill the project. And I guarantee you, there's still projects, there's still YouTubers shilling all of these shit projects. Like most of these projects are ass, pretty much. Like Scale is ass, Sela is ass, IOTX. Let's have a look at IOTX. I've not looked into this for a long time. 0.1 to 0.7. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, for a normie, this is not too bad, my friend. Let's have a look at what this is. IOTX deep in for everyone. Yeah, so this covers the deep in narrative. So, and this is the thing, right? The deep in narrative will run again. I think it's a very strong narrative. However, people like to look for something newer because a lot of the times these projects never even done anything with deepen, but then they've migrated or they've changed their whole project to cater to a narrative that's bullish this cycle. This is what a lot of projects do now. Personally, there's way better projects. IOTX, very high market cap, very unlikely to give you anything crazy. Back up to his all-time high. You're looking at about 2x. So the likely chances of this giving you more than a 5x very, very low, very low. Some projects are just not going to perform. Think of it like this, right? We've just went through a QT bull run, and even though altcoins do tend to perform better in the QE bull run, but those are the low cap altcoins. This will outperform what is done right now. But in terms of making you crazy amounts of money, this is very unlikely, my friend. So you have to clear a lot of projects from the last cycle and look into accumulating better projects this cycle. That's what I would do, TJ. So GFAL all into all, hopefully made the right buy. I think, look, GFAL, I'm not bullish on GFAL, but I mean, I got rid of mine ages ago because, I listened to an AMA and the stupid CEO or the stupid team member that was doing the AMA said marketing is pointless. Like these guys got a little bit too cocky. Why? Because they think that, oh, we got the CEO of EA, that should be enough. No, it's not enough, bro. No one cares. There's multiple team there's so many projects now in crypto that has team from FIFA, from all these big companies, from Superstar, Rockstar, whatever the fuck it's called. And they've come into crypto now. There's Clash of Clans team now, Superstar, that's massive. There's so many different projects that's coming into crypto currently, and and they developed games, and the games are from people with a lot of expertise, from very good projects from before, good games from before. Now they're coming to the crypto space, so it's not like GFAL only stood out last year and a half ago because it was the only gaming project at that time that had a very solid team that had decent games. Games are nothing crazy; they're just normal games. But now we have thousands of GFALs now. This is the problem. There's thousands of GFAL. And when the team says we don't believe in marketing, that is a red flag because the retail, gaming is catered to retail. Retail will only buy games that are being shielded by influencers. This is why it's a massive red flag when the team says we don't believe in marketing. Who buys gaming apart from retail? Institutions don't buy it, rarely. So you have to be very careful with these gaming projects that don't want to market. That's why I would never buy GFAL ever. So I think you've made a very good decision, Skidmarks. Yeah, they are. The Casper Maxes are cream in their pants. I had one. I was talking to one in the comment section a few days ago. Me and Xander. These guys are crazy, bro. they're actually crazy how, bro, some of these guys defend Casper more than they probably defend their mothers, bro. That's how bad they is. It's a cult. It's literally a cult. I don't even, as long as someone talks about Casper, I don't even entertain them, bro. I'll be like, that's fine, bro. Casper's going to go to $100 billion in market cap, but that's fine. That's what I tell them. Because if you say any otherwise, they act like you just killed their mom or something, but that's how aggressive they get. So I don't even waste my time with those retards. Anytime, my friend. Now let's wrap up this live stream. I've been live for an hour and a half. I think that's reasonably too long. Now I appreciate every single one of you that has watched the stream. Drop a like if you haven't already done so. For those of you that want to join the private group, now last time I came on here, I said we had 25 spots left. Ever since then, we do have about 18 spots left in the private group now. Joey, you come right at the end, my friend. You come right at the end. Now, like I said, we have approximately 18 spots left now. There's 18 spots in the private group now. So if you want to join before it gets filled out, I'm not going to open no more spots in the bull run. Not at the moment at least. Maybe I'll open a bit more. I don't know. But for now, there's only going to be 300 people max in my group. And there's only approximately 18 spots left now, I think. So, like I said, my group is going to be one of the biggest gainers this cycle. If you was in my public group the last 2-3 years, you would have been one of the biggest gainers amongst any other group in the crypto space. I found so many projects at the bottom, and I gave free alpha for a very long time. And my track record is pretty decent. The way I've maneuvered the markets is very, very good. You guys got to take in consideration I called the top in March. I called the dip in August and September. I called the dip in August and told people to buy heavy. I told people do not buy heavy June, July. Wait till DCA, till June, July. I saved a bunch of people a lot of money. I've made them a lot of money. So if you guys want to join the group, like I said, we already knew in advance that the dips were going to happen in August and September. We wasn't surprised. We were just ready to buy. A lot of people get shocked because they DCA every 5% drop. And then when the market goes lower, they buy more, and it goes lower, they buy more. By the time the real dip happens, they've run out of money because they keep hearing people say, this is the bottom now. This is the bottom now. It recovers. They don't take profits, and it comes back down, puts in a new low. This is a consistent trend that's been happening. You guys can see in the Bitcoin has been doing the same shit for the past 6 months now. So be very careful, my friends, who you guys listen to, who you guys, follow. But yeah. I'm not doing an extra hour, but my head's spinning. They fake the numbers right now to make the. This is facts, bro. They're gonna fake the numbers now to make the other party look better. That the economy is doing well, so Trump has less of a chance. This is what they're doing right now, bro. I highly doubt inflation went from 2.9% in 1 month to 2.5% the next month. That is bullshit. That is 100% bullshit. And there's a very unlikely chance the unemployment went from 4.3% to 4.2%. Even though, if you go look at state by state, unemployment is getting red across the board. So this bullshit. I think all of the data is bullshit right now, bro. I always scared to sell and buy back lower. Why if bro, you're not going to miss the bull run, bro. The bull run's not going to start till next year, my friend. You're not missing nothing. But yeah, where is Cookie Monster, bro? I don't know what Cookie Monster is. He's off today. But you just watch the replay. It's fine. Cookie Monster's missing today. But appreciate every single one of you that joined. Feel free to drop a like, subscribe, and put your post notifications on, whatever whatever these YouTubers say at the end. I appreciate every single one of you that came down. I shall be live. I'll be dropping a tier list video tomorrow. Actually, I have an updated version of my AI deepin tier list video. I will be dropping that. I'll be dropping a new gaming one and a new RWA one. Back to back. So I'll be dropping one of those every single day. Look forward to that, guys. That will be dropping tomorrow. Where is Gaylord? I don't even know where Gaylord's gone. Oh, there's Cook, man. Cook is right here. Just hasn't been commenting today. But I appreciate all you guys. Have a lovely evening, night, morning, wherever it is. Take care, guys.